people ask us about best practices and what, I'm here with two experts. So can you share some recommendations, some best practices around your Apache Kafka deployments, configurations?
Yeah, this one goes out to all the people planning to implement Kafka soon, and especially the managers responsible for those deployments. You can't performance test until you performance test. You have to have real data going into it with real producers and real consumers. You can't set a high and low watermark based on what's on paper in your enterprise architecture. You have to go and test. So when the customers ask us, well, how many servers do we need for this? And the answer is well, you start with 3 and then you see how it scales, because there's just a limit to how much you can guess for these, right?
How about you, Joe?
Yeah, you can ballpark pretty well, but yeah, getting that accurate number is you can't replace actually real world testing. Some of the things when I look at, go into an environment kind of survey and somebody asks us, so like, what are some best practices? What should we be doing? And there's some standard stuff, you want to match up your partitions per your consumers, right? So you want to have the same amount of, if you have 100 consumers, you're probably going to want 100 partitions, and that way, you have this the parallelization. That's how Kafka scales. You want to look at are you doing the right type of batching and the right amount of batching? So if you have a bunch of producers, do you want to spool up and have them put on large batches? Kind of depending on how you're consuming that, and those are the kind of tweaks that you need to test, and then you find out what your throughput is, and knowing what your message sizes are in average, because there is a calculation that you want to do there. I have X amount of brokers with X amount of bandwidth per NIC, so how do we size to make sure we even have the right data pipe to handle this many messages? So those are all considerations you need to think about, when you're building out these clusters.
Excellent.